Hey everybody, it's Gil here with the Sailing Vessel Dream Chaser. And in last week's episode, we actually talked a little bit about a fairly crappy job we were going to have to do on the RV. Also spent some time talking about how we make great coffee. In that episode last week, I talked a little bit about a lesson we learned on the camper about the black water tank and a reason not to leave the valves open if you're connected to a sewer connection. If you didn't see that episode, I'll go ahead and post a link right up in this particular corner. Feel free to go ahead and watch that for the backdrop for this particular episode. This week, we're going to go ahead and show you the step-by-step process we used for replacing those valves, a few of the lessons learned, and ultimately how we went about doing it. And then after that, I think we'll take you along for a little trip we took out to the beach. Hope you guys enjoy this week's video. So earlier I went ahead and started the black tank flushing process. I'll kind of show you how that works. I finished my 2 cups of coffee. This has been flushing for about 45 minutes, which means the water's running out clear, which means it won't be nearly as bad a job. So let me kind of show you what I was talking about around that black water cleaning system that's sort of built into the camper. I think it's pretty common on most campers because frankly this isn't a very expensive or high-end camper, and it has it. So it's a nice little extra feature when it works. If they don't have them, they actually sell a deal. It's a little wand, PVC wand. You can stick it down in the toilet, and it's got a little spinning set of jets on it, like a car wash thing that does something similar. Right? Kind of a neat way to do it. So as we move over here to the side of the camper, you notice right here we have this little thing that says black tank flush. And that hose is what drives those jets I was talking about that are around the inside of the black tank. So let me go ahead and we'll get started here. I'll show you what it looks like on the dump side before I actually start removing the valves. And I've got to go tell the girls that if they need to use the restroom, they're going to have to walk up to the restroom, which they will be thrilled about since it's morning time. But look, I gotta get it done before it gets blazing hot today, and mentally I've prepared myself for this job. So you'll notice the white hose over here. The blue hose is actually our regular water for drinking water, and we have it kind of connected up to the camper when we're on a site like this. The white hose is for that black water flush you just saw. So this is the general setup. Forgive the shading here, the tree shading right on this spot. If you notice here, you can see we have a thicker plumbing line coming down. That's the black tank, and you can see that valve is open right over there. And on the left-hand side, we have the gray water tank, and the gray water tank is closed right now. That's the thinner hose. And both of them connect up to this red flexible line. You got this little snake-looking thing here just to keep the angle right. And what you notice is that is flowing pretty clear. So that's the black water rinse tank, and as you can see, it's clean water at this point, so the job won't be nearly as bad. So here's the process, pretty simple. I'm going to go ahead and just open up this gray water valve, and you'll start to see the color change a little bit. Gray water, soapy water, etc. This is coming out of the holding tanks for the sink drains, the shower, etc. And we have the kitchen sink, the bathroom shower, and the outdoor kitchen sink. So I'm just going to let that flow out of there until all that's out as well. But essentially, I'm going to have to remove each of those valves. You can see the bolts there. There's 4 bolts on each one. Remove those, pull the valve out, take out the gaskets, and then I'll run up to the store and buy new ones. I didn't buy them last night because I wasn't sure if the gray water tank was a 1.5 or 2-inch diameter. It looks like it's 2-inch, but I'll have it with me just to make sure I know. Yeah, so it really is nice being able to have a dump station right at the camper. And when we stay in one of these longer term places like this, it's something we look for. State parks in Louisiana didn't have that, but here in Florida, most of these places do. There's certainly a difference in price too. These RV resorts are nice. I think I've in a video a couple of weeks ago, and I'll link it right up here. I did a bit of a walkthrough tour of this place, and it is really nice. Big giant resort pool. They have a game room, shuffleboard, a gym, a laundry room, a recreational area for the kids. They do events here. It's all set up, and a lot of the people that you see here, these RVs are here year round. As a matter of fact, this one right here behind us, this big gray one that's back here, it's all closed up. So I suspect they are snowbirds, and they probably went home for the summer, and they'll be back in the winter time. I can see the electric's connected and the sewer lines are connected, but the water's disconnected, the slide-ins are in, and they even have a little temporary garage. I see a lot of these little canvas garages out here, and that all the canvas is off and just the framework is there. So they're definitely gone for the season, but they probably just keep their RV here all the time, which is a nice little place to come for the winter months if you're a snowbird. There's the one I was talking about. I think they're gone for the season. I'm starting with the gray tank since I've never done this before. I'd like to see what it looks like before I'm dealing with the contents of the black tank. So far, so easy. You can start to see just how gross this is. Look at that. There's drain goo in there. It's probably like hair or something. And that's probably what was keeping that from closing all the way, actually. Now, that actually doesn't feel too bad right there. I think what I'm going to do is go to the store and buy these parts now so that I have this and I can close it quickly. I can actually smell just the smell from coming out of the tank on that one, and I want to leave that open here for a period of time. So I think that's going to be my goal here. So let's give you an idea on what this thing sort of looks like, right? There's a gasket on each side, and then it's as simple as a pull lever. And you can see what I meant about this gate. And right now, they're only going to about there. And you can see there's a small opening back behind that, and we don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up a couple new ones of these.
I would have come right here to this North Trails RV. This place is huge. It just starts right here, and it goes for the longest amount of time. Like, they have some of these ginormous Class A diesel pushers, ones on Freightliner bodies, just amazing RV selection. And you can see it's still going on. Like, this place is huge. But unfortunately, they don't open until 9 this morning, and Camping World opens at 8, and it's only one more exit up. So I am going to run up to Camping World to pick up these parts. I suspect they'll have them, and if they don't, by the time I come back, it'll be past 9, and I can stop at North Trails RV.
Well, here's a complete sidetrack about every one of these little ponds like this in Florida. You got to consider there could very well be a gator in. For some reason, I didn't think that same way in Louisiana, and we probably had more there than here, but certainly something I'm always considering here. All right, let's go pick me up one of these valves. So if you're in the RV, and this place is kind of cool, it's like a kid in a candy store kind of joint. So you find the sewer pieces I need, and we'll be all set. I think I found the aisle. Yeah, there's what I need right there. Uh-oh, no 1.5 inch. Sometimes you gotta look behind them, because there's the 1.5 inch. Well, I got the parts I need, so now it's just a matter of looking around like a kid in a candy store and seeing what other cool things they have here. I can actually use a washer for one of my hoses. I used my last extra one today. Collapsible pot? That's too friggin' cool. Well, for me, that's like going into a marine store. I always find something that I didn't need, and that's exactly what I've done today. But I got the girls each a non-spillable thermos sort of mug for drinking. They were on clearance, and I couldn't resist. I bought one of those silicone collapsible pots. We'll see how well they work. But I got my 2 gate valves, so let's go finish that crappy job. All right, so we've got our new valve here. All right, now we've got the more disgusting one to do, but that's what we got to do. All right, so scoot that right back out of the way. Got the old one out. Alright, then we're just going to put the valve on, the gasket on here. Put the gasket on the gray tank. And I'm just going to clean the seating area because I just dropped this piece into the dirt. I want to make sure I get a good seat along there. So we'll put the gasket on there. And do the same with the gasket on this gray water discharge side. And it's just now a matter of putting these guys on. Now you can kind of see here, opens and closes nice and easy.
And now it's just a matter of putting the valve in place. Make sure it seats up well against the gasket, and then you'll notice I'm pushing the screws through just to hold it in place while I assemble the nozzle along to the valves. This took a little bit of alignment, just given that you have two different pipes connecting to a third location. I put in the smaller valve for the gray water tank, and then you can see slid the screws back in place, and then really just put a nut on each end to hold it in place while I started to alternate back and forth and tightening up each of the nuts as we went.
So that all looks good. Now it's just a matter of closing the black tank, opening the gray, and again we get the flow of gray water. And that valve also appears to be working great. As it's drained, just a matter of closing that guy up. So all in all, it wasn't that bad a job. Quite frankly, we dealt with this kind of thing on the boat before, and it's always a little bit worse having to deal with it on the boat. At least with this one, everything was fairly accessible right here behind the camper, and it wasn't a matter of climbing down, doing some boat yoga or boat gymnastics just to get yourself in a position to be able to do the work, and then you're stuck right there, nose to nose with it, without any ability or flexibility to move out of the way if something were to go wrong, as they say. So all in all, it's not a bad job. I would encourage anyone that's looking at doing this, certainly you can try doing this yourself. Pretty easy to do with basic tools and a little bit of thought behind it.
All over the beaches in this particular area, they have these small sort of marked off areas, and they're actually sea turtle nests that have been identified. What's cool is as we walked up on this one, we found a bunch of the old eggshells that had been cracked and were sort of spread out and about. So it's kind of cool. Had we been here last night, we might have actually got to see these particular sea turtles hatch out of the eggs and make their way to the shore, which would have been awesome. Well, the wind was too strong. I've got to do this in a voiceover, so we decided to come out to Bowditch State Park, which is right where the Gulf of Mexico sits and the Caloosahatchee River comes out into it. So right behind me here where Chastity's playing in the water is actually the Gulf of Mexico, and kind of behind the camera, I guess if you will, is where the Caloosahatchee River, or what's also known as the west side of the Okeechobee Waterway, comes out into the Gulf of Mexico. So we just came out here, let the girls play in this sort of relatively calm water right in this particular area because of the barrier islands out there, and they had a blast. Chaz just kind of walked around in the water, McKinley did the same, and we sort of decided at this point that we needed to make sure we took them to a proper beach with real waves, maybe next weekend, and let them, have fun in the real ocean, if you will. And then this guy was out here kite surfing. It was pretty cool to see.
We took the girls out to Boca Grande Pass, where they're looking for shells on the beach. They keep finding these little tiny snails, and they watching them crawl down in the sand.